Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode number 3 of Power Hour. I am definitely looking forward to today's flow. I'll just say that. I absolutely need to move some energy today. So I am happy to be here with whoever is wanting to join today in this wonderful movement practice. I'm sorry I'm a little late here. Just was getting set up. As you can see, I have a different environment today. I've chosen to move outside so I can have some extra perspiration happening. Definitely need to move some stuff. So I'm looking forward to sweating a little bit. I don't have a moderator today. If anyone wants to moderate, I don't know how that works, but my moderator is not able to moderate today. So if anyone wants to, if that's possible, I think I can maybe appoint somebody if that is possible. Otherwise, I just sent an email out to my meetup with the link to today's practice, so they might not even be getting it for like another couple of minutes. So I'm actually going to wait. If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to give it another couple of minutes before we get started, just to give some people some time to jump on here. So if you want to, you can grab a couple things for yourself, maybe a towel. Those of you who have yoga blocks, I would suggest grabbing 1 or 2 of these and possibly a strap. I don't know if I'm going to use the strap today, but it's always good to have just in case we use it. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, so it's 12:08. I'll begin around probably another minute or two. Hello, everyone. If you're here from South Florida, say hello in the chat. I'll check here in the next minute before we get started. I just want to know if you're here so I can say hi. Those of you who are here and don't know me, I'm Jessica Ohm. I am in South Florida right now. If you don't know, this is where I'm at, South Florida. It's nice and warm today. Actually, very nice and warm today. It's probably around 90 degrees, actually. So say where you're at if you want to. If you want to reveal yourself. All right, I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. Hello, everyone. Who is Slay Queen? Who is that? All right, getting ready. Elijah, hello. Bye. All right, friends. Man, I know I need this today. I don't know if I'm ready. I said I'm ready, but I'm like, all right, let's get ready. So I'm definitely going to sweat because it's already hot out here, wherever you guys are. Um, Whatever you guys need, grab some water, grab a towel. We're going to move through the body about an hour. Hi, Tommy. All right, friends. Again, I'm Jessica Ohm. I'm based here in South Florida. If you're not familiar with me, I teach yoga on the beach in Delray Beach, Florida, as well as all over. I've traveled and taught for the last 17 years. And I just started these power hours, I think like 2 weeks ago now. So you guys are welcome to join me. either Tuesday or Thursday during the week at noon for a 1 hour fitness inspired flow. So we're just going to move through our body and our breath, do some nice movements, find some balance, find some energy for the rest of our day, not having to be so dependent on any external substances like caffeine and such. So we have all the things we need in our body to do the things. Okay, so again, I am not going to be able to read the comments, and during the practice, I usually do have a moderator just taking care of whatever extra comments are happening. If you're doing the practice with me, obviously you're not going to be reading comments either, so don't even mind that. I prefer, of course, that you're actually doing the practice if you're here. If you're not here to do the practice, I don't know, question your motives here is all I can say. But I'm here to do a nice practice with you guys, and I hope you are too. All right, so here we go. Let's begin. If you guys want to put on some upbeat music, of course, feel free to do that. Always suggest a hard surface for these practices because it's nice to have the feet grounded on the earth. Let's go ahead and open up our feet if you have a yoga mat, the width of the mat or wider. As you can see, my setup here is 2 yoga mats because I'm on a brick surface today. It just helps to pad the knees. We're going to start by waking up our core, which to me is the fundamental of all of these power hour practices, is all about the core. So moving from our center always, and we're going to start by actually bringing our hands out from the body. So you can make a T with your arms, and then you're just going to kind of move side to side. And as you do that, we're focusing on the oblique. So as you come to one side, you're actually going to stop your body with your core, and we're just going to go side to side. So you can keep your arms soft, but it's really about focusing on the center. And then we're going to start to, of course, wake up our breath. So you're going to find as you stop side to side and you engage your core, you're going to want to exhale. So just focusing on waking up the obliques as you twist side to side, squeezing, 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 squeezing. So just waking up the center of the body. Again, your arms can be straight. That's actually a little harder. If you want to bend the elbows, think about a boxer, right? When they're like this, going fast, they're also waking up their obliques. Super strong center. So just keep breathing and squeezing each side of your abdominals as you go side to side. A few more. And then come to center. All right, so from here, you're actually going to hold your hands out in front of you or grab a block if you have a yoga block, which is what I would suggest, or a ball, anything that you want. Hands out in front of you. We're going to do a little bit of a squat. First, we're going to bring our arms up as we come down to a squat and then down. So squat down and up. You have that ball. It's kind of like an Utkatasana, like we do in our yoga practice, but the feet are a little wider. If you can't get your arms all the way up above your head, you can bring it out in front of you and back up. Shoulders down, hands up, and down. Good. Inhale, down, chest up, exhale, press. Inhale, butt back, exhale, press. Again, inhale if you can, arms up, squat, exhale, up. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, a few more. With the breath, 2 more. And last one. And exhale. Eventually, you can actually add a weighted ball or something of a weight here. Now we're going to go side to side here. We're going to squat down and bring our left hand, or excuse me, our hands to our left hip. So we're going to go and do a squat, and we're going to go inhale across the body. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands over to the right and stand up. So kind of the same thing we just did with the squat, but we're going inhale, twist to the left, exhale over to the right. And then faster. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Notice we're also combining the twist with the obliques that we did in standing. So from the standing twist to the squat, to the twist. All right. So inhale, cross the body. Exhale. Inhale, squat. Exhale, twist. Few more. You can do this without the block as well, just with your hands if you want. 2 more. Last one. And then we're going to switch. So we're going to do the right side. Same thing. Inhale, squat down, hands to the right hip. Cross the body as you stand up. Exhale, twist. Feel your core. Inhale down. Exhale, twist. Keep going. With your breath, squeeze. Maybe remember you're using your core to twist and stop that movement with your oblique. Few more. Cross the body. And last one. Good. Come back to center. One more time. We're going to come into that squat with the hands over the head if possible. Otherwise, hands out in front. Again, you don't need the block. So you can just hold your hands. If you have a small weighted ball, you can do that as well, holding them in your hands or just clasp your hands. Inhale, squat down, hands up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, stand up. Inhale. Exhale, stand. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, stand up. Few more. Again. Keep breathing. Inhale down. Exhale up. Last one. Inhale down. And exhale up. Good. Step your feet hip width apart. So directly underneath the hips. Let me just make sure we got everyone here. All right. Good. Feet hip width apart. So in our yoga practice, we go into Utkatasana, similar to a squat like we just did, but this time feet are going to stay hip width apart. If you want to know what that looks like, you can stick a block between your knees like so. Don't allow your knees to come out to the side, of course. Don't allow them to come together. So if you do have a block, you can keep it there just for reference. Bring your arms out in front of you to start. We're going to draw the hips back like you're going to come into a squat. Now, don't bring your chest forward. Important. Keep your chest up, pull your shoulders back, and tuck your ribs. Bring your weight back to your heels. So find an Utkatasana and just hold. Waking up the lower body and then reach your arms up toward the sky, finding Utkatasana. So just this position right here and holding and breathing. If you want now, keep your mouth closed. Sink into the heels a little bit more, and then bring your body weight or your body halfway down. So hips back behind you, hands forward in front of you. Reach the hands a little higher than your head if you can. Hold. Then bring your arms out to the side like airplane wings, squeezing them back. Pull your shoulders back. Look out in front of you a little bit. Drop those hips a little lower if you can. And then inhale, bring the hands back up for Utkatasana. Hold. And then forward fold, Uttanasana. Go ahead and allow your head to fall toward the ground here. Just taking some long, slow breaths. Finding a nice passive hamstring stretch. You can soften your knees here. So if your hamstrings are really tight, go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. Just allow a couple slow, long breaths, maybe shifting your weight. You have the block between your knees. You can go ahead and release that. Allow yourself to just hang, so no tension in the face or neck. You're not pushing against the ground, you're just hanging, palms facing up or clasping your opposite elbows. Second option, you can clasp your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, and draw the hands up over the head, allowing your head to hang freely. Bend your knees a little bit more, take one more breath. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. On your inhale, lift your chest, eyes go forward. Bring your palms flat to the ground and step your feet back to a plank position. So holding plank, shoulders directly over the palms, waking up our core now in a nice strong plank. So notice if your chest is sagging to the ground, if you can, press through the hands, lift your chest away from the earth. See if your hips are sagging to the ground. See if you can lift those hips, tuck the tailbone, and press through your heels. At the same time, pressing forward through the top of the head. Keep holding. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to lift the hips and press back to a downward facing dog position. So heels down, hips up, chest back toward the thighs. Spread the fingers wide, ground the palms. Now let's find the breath. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Create a little more space for the neck. And we're going to inhale, come forward to plank again. So holding plank, nice and strong. As you exhale, lift your hips, press back, downward facing dog. We're going to do that a couple more times. So inhale, ride forward to plank with your breath. Exhale, press back. And again, inhale forward to plank. And exhale, lift with your core. Press back through the heels, chest to your thighs. Good. Inhale back to plank. Let's come to the right side of the mat into side plank, stacking on the ankles, stacking with the shoulders. If it's too much for you, of course, you can come to your right knee or step the left foot out in front of you. If not, you're lifting that right hip further from the ground, stacking with the ankles and the shoulders. Left arm up, finding this nice strong side plank. Eyes can go up past the left hand. Pull the shoulders back for one more breath. As you exhale, left foot and left hand back to the ground, find regular plank, and then over to the left into side plank again. If you can, stacking the ankles. So bring right foot on top of left, stack the shoulders, right shoulder on top of left, eyes up. If not, eyes forward, shoulders back. Hold for one more breath in. Exhale, look down. Right hand and right foot back to the ground. Find your plank on your exhale. Elbows come to the body as we lower down to the ground. So coming all the way to the earth, chin to the ground. Ooh, I should have grabbed a towel myself. Hands down by the sides, palms facing up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. And on an inhale, we're going to lift the chest and the legs. So go ahead and engage the back body. Lift the chest, lift the legs. Eyes forward, keep breathing. So just engaging that back body. See if you can lift the legs a little higher, arms out to the side like airplane wings, and maybe pulse, squeezing the shoulders back, waking up that back body, opening the front arms forward, reach out like superheroes. Maybe reach those hands up a little bit more, and then reach back. And if you can, bend your knees, grab your ankles, finding a little belly down bow here. Kick into your hands, lift the chest, shoulders pull back. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale slowly, lower back down to the ground. Release your feet, bring your hands next to your ribs. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, tuck the toes under, pull the shoulders back, tuck the chin, inhale straight up to plank. And if you want, exhale back down to the ground. Inhale back up, exhale back down, and one more time. Inhale back up, and exhale back to your downward facing dog. Adding a little power today. Pressing back through the heels again, letting your head and neck stay soft. Let's go ahead and shift our weight to the right foot, bend the left knee, and drop that left hip, down and pull the right hip back. First option to stay there. Second option, lift your left foot, maybe roll the ankle a little bit. Take a breath and switch. Left heel presses back, right knee bends. Dropping the right hip or lifting the right foot, rolling the ankle, maybe pressing that foot back behind you. When you're ready, lower the right foot, press back to downward facing dog with both feet. And then we're going to walk our feet to our hands nice and slow. Look up to the hands. Step your feet all the way up, hip width apart at the top. Inhale, lift your chest, pull the shoulders back, tuck your ribs, find that flat back. And then exhale, fold in, hugging yourself into a nice forward fold, wherever that is for you. We're going to roll up one vertebra at a time today. You can bring your hands together, heart center or ragdoll, but make sure you're pulling your belly button in toward the spine as you come up nice and slow. So inhale brings you up to a standing position. Take a moment at the top, take a breath. As you exhale, roll the shoulders back, hands down by your sides. Inhale, again, roll the shoulders up, and exhale, squeeze them back and down. Two more times. Inhale, roll them forward and up. Exhale back. And again, inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Palms forward, sweep the arms out and up. Reaching up as high as you can, grounding through the feet. Reach through the fingers. At the top, exhale, I want you to press the hips forward. Bring the thumbs back a little bit. Nice tight core. On your exhale, coming back forward. Forward fold. Navel in all the way through that forward fold. So long spine, drawing yourself in, face toward the shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Chest forward, shoulders back, palms to the ground, walk stepper, jump back to plank, lower down for Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Feel free to add an extra push up there if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Lifting up. If you're not familiar with upward facing dog, you're pressing through the tops of the feet, lifting the gaze. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Nice, long, slow breaths as we continue to move. Unless we get into more cardio, I'll let you guys know you can change your breath. For today, let's see if we can Breathe in and out through the nose for this flow part. We'll lift the right foot nice and high. Press back through the left heel. Roll the right hip open a little bit more. Maybe press the right foot up toward the sky, toward the ceiling, opening up that right hip a little bit more. Flip the right foot back behind you. Maybe see the toes over or underneath that left arm. Extend the right foot back to the sky. Lower it halfway down. Reaching back through the right foot. Breath in. Exhale, knee to the nose. Round and curl. Right foot back and up in the air. Inhale, reach it high. Come high on your left toes. Look forward. Step the foot between your hands. Keep the back knee lifted here. Unless you need support, you can lower it to the ground. Inhale, press into the right foot. Hands go up over the head. Fingers spread, shoulders soft. Let's take a breath. As you exhale, bend the elbows, draw the shoulders down, squeezing the shoulders down and back so the chest is open. Pulling the ribs down. Inhale again, hands up. Exhale, elbows out. Squeeze. Good. Inhale up. Exhale. Open, and one more time. Inhale up and exhale. Open the chest. Go ahead and bring the hands back down to the ground. Right foot straight back to plank. Lower down as you exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Breathe in. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Good. Back here when you're ready. Right foot grounds, left foot lifts up. Inhale. Nice strong right leg as well. Let's go ahead and roll that left hip open. Flip that left foot back behind you. Maybe roll the ankle a little bit as you press back. Maybe look under or over the right shoulder. See the toes behind you. Keep the arms straight. Inhale, extend that left leg up. Lower the leg halfway down. Let's square the hips and reach back through that foot. Take a breath. Left knee comes to the nose, round and curl. Exhale. Inhale, left foot back and up in the air. Full breath in. Come high on your right toes. Step your left foot between your hands. Keep the right knee lifted this time. Bend into the left knee. Inhale, hands up. Breathe in. Exhale, elbows bend, shoulders down. Open the chest. Again, inhale, hands go up. With your breath, exhale, elbows bend, open chest. Maybe the eyes go up a little higher. Inhale. The sweat's making my sunglasses slip. Exhale. Down one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Hands down to the ground. Left foot straight back to plank. Breathe in. Exhale, we lower down. Even if you need your knees, you can do that, but keep your shoulders forward. Draw the elbows hugging into the body, and then inhale again, either cobra or upward facing dog to the tops of the feet, eyes up. Back to downward facing dog. As you exhale, pressing back. Let's take a couple breaths here. You can soften the face and neck. Let the head hang freely. You can paddle the legs if you'd like to. Slowing down the breath, coming back to center. When you're ready, pressing through the heels. We're going to walk the feet back to the front. Go ahead and bring your feet all the way to the hands and bring them together this time. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, draw yourself in, folding into your leg space toward your shins. Soften the back of your neck. Make sure the face and neck are always soft here. Go ahead and separate your feet hip width apart. We're going to grab our big toes with our peace fingers today. And if that's not available for you, you can also hold on to your ankles, whatever you guys need to. Soften your knees a little bit. Inhale, roll some weight forward toward the toes. Elbows out to the side as you fold it. Exhaling. Crown of the head down between your feet, lifting the sits bones up, pulling the shoulders down your back, and drawing the navel in. Stay with your breath. So even though we're going a little faster here, stay with the breath. Even more important, actually. Nice long neck, long spine. Again, breathing in, softening, finding some length. And then as you exhale, fold yourself in just a little deeper, drawing yourself in. Good. Let's release the big toes or ankles. Bring your hands to your hip creases. Lift your chin from your chest. Bend your knees if you need to with a flat back, navel drawing in. Again, flat back is the priority. So pulling the navel in, slowly come up all the way up to a standing position. At the top, take a moment. If you're ever dizzy, come down to the ground. Otherwise, slide your hands to the lower back. Let's find a little supported back bend, pressing the hips forward, lifting the chest up, pulling the shoulders down. Maybe the eyes go up toward the ceiling a little bit. Maybe they go back slightly, keeping the chin tucked if you need to. Come back up, take a breath in. As you exhale, release your hands. Find stillness in Samasthiti. We'll take a little break here, just allowing your body to find some stillness at the top of your mat. Maybe eyes can close. Take a long, smooth breath in through the nose, down into the diaphragm. Finding a pause at the top of your breath before releasing an even longer, slower exhale. So we're finding balance in the nervous system as well. Good. One more breath. If your eyes closed, gently lift the gaze. Bring your palms together. We'll step the right foot to the center of the mat, and we're going to step the left foot back behind us today. So go ahead and step back behind you. Turn both toes to face the same direction to start. So we're opening up, of course, facing me, whatever way you need to face me, I suppose, right? Let's do that. And let's actually turn our toes out a little bit. So we'll start into a little bit of a goddess squat. So both toes turned out, knees out to the side a little bit. And then we're going to squat with the knees coming over the ankles. All right. So finding that little bit of a goddess squat. So in here, we don't want the knees to collapse in. We want to pull them back toward the pinky toes. And then go ahead and stand back up. I think we did these in episode 1. So squatting down, nice deep squat, back up, back down, and back up. Good. Now we're going to come down and stay down. So we're going to come down into this goddess squat. Now what happens here is some people lean forward. I want you to lift up and sit down into it. Scoop the hips forward so there's a slight tuck of the tailbone as you're pulling those knees back behind you. Now you can keep your hands here at heart center. Lift your right heel off the ground and then go ahead and lower it. Hold. Inhale, lift the left heel off the ground. Exhale, hold. Now let's see if we can lift both heels off the ground. And then hold, squeeze, and lower down, and then go ahead and stand all the way up. Rotate your toes out in front of you, so straight forward, outsides of the feet parallel to the front and back of your mat. Inhale, you're going to bring the hands up and over your head. Reach them up as you exhale, open them up. Hands come back behind you. 1, you can bring them to the lower back, fingertips facing up, or 2, interlace your fingers behind your back like so. As you inhale, you're going to press the hips forward, whether your hands are on your lower back or knuckles are drawing to the ground. Lift the chest, navel in. As you exhale, hinge at the hips with a long spine. Hips go back, chest goes forward, nice and slow. We're going to start to bring either the head down toward the ground or the hands and head down toward the ground. Hands start to come up and over the head if they're clasped and interlaced behind you. Otherwise, maybe they're on the ground, helping to draw yourself in a little deeper. Lifting the sits bones, bringing the head down toward the ground. And again, maybe those hands are coming up and over the head if they're clasped behind you a little bit further for one more breath. Finishing your exhale. And then release your hands to the ground if they were clasped. Go ahead and start to come up a little bit. So coming up halfway. Now we're going to walk over to this right foot. From here, our right toes are going to actually turn out to the right. You might want to widen or shorten your stance here. We're going to come into Skandasana. So we're dropping down into this right hip and to this right heel. Left toes are going to turn up toward the sky like so. So dropping into this right heel, eventually hands come to heart center. We can hang out here. If not, you can support yourself on the hands, but eventually hands to heart center. Left toes up toward the sky. We take a breath in. And then either hands down to the ground to bring yourself to the other side. Or we're going to do it without the hands. Actually, let's do it with the hands to start. I'll show you without on the other side. So coming over to the left, same thing. You just walk over to the left. Left toes turn out a little, dropping into the left heel. Right toes are up, sitting down into that hip. Hands together at heart center. There's, of course, a bind that also goes into this, but we'll skip that for now. Just holding here and breathing. So the next option, instead of bringing the hands to the ground, would be to press into your left foot and switch to the other side. Coming down to that right heel, same thing. Left toes up, we take a breath, and again, press into the right foot and switch. Of course, that is much more intense than using the hands. So just being mindful with where you're at today. One more breath. Hands to the ground, everyone. Let's come back to center. So go ahead and bring both feet back forward or toes facing forward, feet parallel. We're going to come into another fold here. So inhale, lengthen the spine before even going anywhere. Pull the ribs in, pull the navel in, pull the shoulders back, and find a long spine. So you should feel so strong here at the center. Widen or shorten your stance as much as you need to, that eventually you can lift your hands and keep the length through the spine. So you're really pressing through the big toes to feel the integrity, right, of the core there. So find that kind of length and then fold. Head toward the ground, arms drawing in toward one another, feet parallel, shoulders pulling back, breathing into this. Wherever you are, and this is totally cool today, be there. Keep those feet parallel. Don't let the toes turn out. We'll take another breath, full inhale. Finish your exhale, drawing yourself in. Go ahead and walk your hands back out in front of you. Come back to that long spine. And again, keeping the integrity of the center. We're sliding the hands back to the lower back. Bend your knees if you have to. Navel draws in. Inhale, chin away from the chest. Slowly come up to a standing position at the very top. If you want, you can take a little back bend, hips forward, shoulders back. Look up, elbows in, back to center when you're ready. And then we're going to step our feet back to the center like we did. Stepping it back, we're going to turn right toes to face forward like a ninja. You can turn your left heel back first if you want. See if you can float that left foot up, hands together, heart center, float it up, breathe in, and then exhale, step that left foot back down to the ground. Sometimes that's a really hard transition, even though it looks so simple and short, just moving with grace and control. When you're ready, inhale, hands out and up. Full breath in, touch the palms above the head. Exhale, let's take it forward with the breath all the way through. Finish your exhale, drawing yourself in. Inhale, come up halfway. Bring the palms to the ground, walk, step, or jump back to your plank this time. If you'd like to, transition weight to your hands and jump your feet back to plank, lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Of course, you're free to add an extra push-up if you want. Downward facing dog, exhale. Press back through the heels. Good. Nice long breaths. We're going to keep moving though. Right foot is going to lift up. So ground through your left foot, lift the right foot up. Take a breath, exhale, step the foot forward between the hands, all the way up. Back to a lunge, inhale, hands come up and over the head, reach up. This time we're going to come into water wheel. Over to the right, right hand drops back, left hand goes forward. So rotating the body to the right, reaching back through to that left heel. Next option, right hand down to the left thigh, left hand up toward the sky. Stretching through this whole left side and psoas. Reach up. And then we're going to cartwheel, left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky. Roll the shoulders back, look up, roll the eyes to the sky, looking up and reaching past that right hand. Stay with the breath. Nice inhale. Exhale, right hand is going to come to the ground. Now from here, two options. Step your back foot up a few inches, press back into this right hip and fold into this right leg, stretching that right hamstring. Maybe the ball of the right foot comes to the ground, but see if you can flex the toes as you fold. Second option is to step into the right leg. As you step into the right leg, the left leg is going to lift from the ground. So finding a standing split, we fold into this right leg. Maybe you want to grab the ankle with your right hand as you lift the left leg up toward the sky. So engaging this left glute to continue to lift that left foot. And the option to follow is to bend that back knee, catch the foot behind you with your right hand, and draw yourself in. So we're folding into the right leg, all right, if you're in a standing split with me. Otherwise, continue that stretch with the back foot on the ground for one more breath. And if you have the foot, we're going to release it. If you're in standing split, lower the leg and step it back to a nice lunge. Everybody step the left foot further back. Re-engage the lunge. Right foot is going to come back to plank. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale. And then back to your downward facing dog. Fingers spread, palms rooted. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Finding a moment of rest. Definitely going faster than I usually do on the beach. So if you're here from beach yoga, welcome to Power Hour. Left foot is going to lift up. Breathe in. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Step, not fling. If you can, control the movement, bringing it all the way up. Nice and slow. We're going to come up to a lunge. Inhale, hands rise up. Exhale, open to the left water wheel. Left arm back, right arm forward, shoulders down. Stay here. Reach back through the left hand a little more. Left hand drops to the right thigh, right hand to the sky, reaching up and back. So again, we're lengthening through that whole right side, reaching. Then we're going to cartwheel right hand down to the ground underneath the shoulder. Left hand to the sky, eyes up, fingers spread. Breathe. I hope my microphone is working today. It didn't the other day. One more breath in. Good. Exhale. Let's go ahead and lower left hand to the ground. Now, again, you can step the back foot up a couple inches, press the left hip back, fold into that left leg, left toes up toward the sky as you breathe. Otherwise, step into your left foot, right foot lifts. From here, we start to lift that right leg higher as we fold into the left leg. Maybe you want to hold on to that left ankle. Use that as leverage to deepen into the fold. Staying here, softening the face and neck or bending that back knee. If you want, try catching the foot with your left hand this time, reaching up and grabbing that right foot and pulling that heel into the body. So you're doubling and getting that nice quad and hip flexor stretch in that right leg as well. Keep breathing wherever you are. One more breath. Release the foot if you have it. Go ahead and lunge it back behind you. Everybody finding that long lunge once again. Left knee over the ankle without dragging the foot. Can we step it back to plank? Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Feel free to take that extra push up. Upward facing dog or cobra. Breathe in. Shoulders down and back. Exhale back. Woo. Downward facing dog. Nice, long, slow breaths. Very good, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a moment, lower down to the knees. You can sit back, grab some water, towel off, whatever you guys want. I know you might need a little bit of a rest. Wish I had grabbed a towel myself. Whew. Take a moment to find center. Feels good to sweat. Once you find yourself back at center, take a moment to soften the shoulders, reignite the spine, feel the navel drawing in and up. Of course, we stay steady with the breath throughout the practice, right? Very important. So feeling your center and always moving from it. When you're ready, go ahead and come up to your knees, not back. I don't think we've come here yet. Coming up to your knees, separate the knees, hip width apart. All right, from here, if you have a block you would like to, it's a nice option to actually put the block between your knees, this medium width. All right, so if you want to practice Ustrasana with the block between your knees, the action here is almost like we're squeezing the inner thighs together. So you're squeezing the block in between your thighs, and then you're going to press the hips forward and lift the chest up. Now, you have two options. One, you can keep the toes untucked, or you can tuck them under. It's a nice option to have them tucked under if you want to reach back and grab your heels after this. So from here, hands to the lower back, we're going to scoop the pelvic floor muscles in and up, finding a little mula bandha to start. And then we're going to press the hips forward, out in front. Hands come to the lower back, chest goes up. Now, eventually, if you have the space there in your spine, you can reach back and bring one foot or one hand if you want, maybe alternating your hands to your heels, lifting that arm up and back, or both hands to your heels, lifting the chest. And if it's okay on your neck, you can always drop the head back a little bit. So wherever you are in this, keep lifting the chest, pressing the hips forward and breathing. Hands can come back to your lower back. Press the hips forward, coming back up with your core. And then inhale, let's bring the hands up toward the sky, reach them up. Exhale, slowly lower your hands to heart center. Let's remove the block if you have it. Sit back on the heels, bring the knees together. Take a moment here in Dhyana again, hands to heart center. Let the heart, the physical heart, feel it. I know it's beating fast. Let it regulate for a moment. And then on your exhale, I want you to slide your hands down next to your knees and just touch your forehead down to the ground. So coming into a little modified balasana or child's pose. Forehead to the ground, gently lengthening through the lower back, but also creating that nice little safety, that feeling of safety between the chest and the thighs. Feel free to rock a little right and left. Take a deep breath in. Nice long exhale out. Good. Go ahead and slowly lift your face, lift your chest from the thighs. Bring your hands out in front of you. We're going to re-engage a downward facing dog. Separate your knees, tuck the toes, and press back for your Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward facing dog. Go ahead and paddle your legs a little if you'd like to. Otherwise, we're just going to stay here for a couple breaths, pressing through the heels, elongating the spine, straightening the arms as you exhale, deepening through those heels. We're going to come back to the front of the mat. Now, this time, if you guys want to, you can come to your toes, look between your hands, keep your gaze there. And I like to practice jumping. If you want to practice jumping, you'd come to your toes, bend your knees, and on an exhale, you lift your hips and bring the feet down between your hands. Now, if that's new for you, donkey kicks are fun. Inhale, come to the toes, exhale, keep your eyes forward, and you kick your heels to your butt and then lower them back to the ground. And the intention is to find the float above your shoulders with the hips. So eventually the feet can float down to the ground, but the float is where we have that control. So practicing what you want today, of course. Inhale at the top, halfway up. Exhale, fold into your legs. And we'll rise to standing, maybe bending the knees, navel in, chest up, arms forward and up. Utkatasana first. Come all the way to a standing position. Touch the palms above your head. Press the hips forward, maybe a little bit of a back bend there if you'd like, biceps into the ears. Come back to standing and slowly lower the hands to heart center. Whew. And let's take a couple grounding breaths. Oh, this added heat today. Definitely have to breathe in the heat. All right, you guys, we're going to come into a standing balance. Standing balancing pose with a little bit of a stretch. We'll start with the arms. Let's go ahead and bring the arms out and up. Reaching up through the arms. Exhale, you're going to bring the right elbow underneath the left, coming into eagle arms. So if you're not familiar with Garudasana, like so, right arm under left, hands come together as best as possible. Now, if this is tricky for you or difficult for you, wherever you can get, even if you're just barely getting it, eventually you get that nice full bind of the arms. So shoulders pull down, hands away from the face. Maybe this is where you stay today and just enjoy that shoulder stretch. If you can, otherwise, you can soften the knees, find a little bit of a bend in the knees, maybe lift the right knee on top of left, and find the right foot behind the left calf. So finding a little bit of a squat there. Eventually, we start to actually come down, elbows toward the knees, hands away from the face, hips go back. So kind of coming into a little ball now, keeping the eyes on one point is helpful. Breathe. And we'll come back up nice and slow. If you want, you can release the legs first. Right knee up. Exhale the foot down. Bring those hands up toward the sky. And when you're ready, go ahead and release them hands up. Unwinding. Exhale. We can bring the hands back to heart center nice and slow. Do the other side. Take a moment to ground when you're ready. Arms up. Breathe in. Exhale. Left arm under right this time. Palms together. Shoulders down. Enjoy the shoulder stretch or soften the knees. Find that little squat. Bring the left knee on top of right. Eventually, left foot comes behind the right calf if you can get it. Finding full Garudasana as we bring the elbows toward the knees, hands away from the face. Breathe into that. Hips back. Even if you lose your balance, keep your drishti, which is the focal point of your eyes. We're going to slowly start to come back up, standing up nice and strong. Left knee can unwind first. Breathe in, lift the knee. Exhale over the foot. Lift those hands up a little higher toward the ceiling. And then go ahead and unwind. Inhale, arms up. Touch the palms. Exhale, hands together. Heart center, finding Tadasana. Let's take a deep breath in. And a nice long grounding exhale. Beautiful. On your next inhale, arms out and up, full breath. Touch the palms, exhale. Let's take it forward, forward, fold. Think we're starting to wind down. Inhale, come up halfway, palms to the ground, walk, step, or jump back to plank, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in, or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhale. Press back. Beautiful. We're going to come through to a seated position. Look between your hands. If you do have yoga blocks and you want to practice jumping, all right, if you're not familiar with it, you could always place your hands on blocks. It would look like this. Hands maybe a little wider than shoulder width apart if you want to play with it. So downward facing dog with your hands on the blocks. You look between your hands. That means through the blocks. Bend your knees like you were going to jump the hips over the shoulders. This time, you're just going to bring the legs straight through. So you just kind of swing your hips on through. And of course, you can do that without the blocks as well. But it's a good way to practice or to start practicing with the blocks. The trick is to not think. You look, pull the legs in, and swing them through. I'll do that one more time in case you want to see it. All right, hips up. Exhale, look forward through the hands. Lift up and through. All right, eventually we can get a little more slow and controlled. Hips can actually come over the shoulders, and it's just like a handstand you float on through. I'm not expecting you guys to do that today. All right, so all the way through to a seated position when you guys are ready, guys. Go ahead and place one block out to the side if you have it. Place the other block between your knees if you have it. Otherwise, if you don't, no big deal. If you have a weighted ball, which I don't have today, but in the future, I'm going to give all kinds of options with props that I also use, and I'll integrate them into this practice as well. If you do have a weighted ball and you want to hold on to it, you can place it in your hands. Also, light weights would work as well. So if you have like 3-pound weights or something nearby, anything, hold it in your hand. Hold it in your hands, both hands, or whatever you got there, and you're going to start to round and curl. So I want you to tuck the tailbone, feel your core again. We're going to start to round and curl our way down to the ground, but don't rush. I want you to pause and actually hold where you feel your core nice and strong, and then all the way down. Now your hands are going to come up and over the head. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to draw your hands back up over the shoulders, back toward about 45 degrees, and start to reverse roll back up. Again, if you have a weighted ball or 2 light weights in your hand, great. Inhale, we're going to exhale, start to round. Hands up and over the head, breathe in. Exhale, squeeze and go the opposite direction. Again, breathe in. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Exhale around. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze. At the top. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, hands up over the head. Let's come up one more time. Exhale. If you have weights in your hands, great. Awesome. We're going to slowly come back down onto the ground one more time. So maybe that was one more. Rounding down all the way. Beautiful. If you have that weight, go ahead and bring it all the way up and over your head, or the ball or 2 weights. Let it go. Let go of the weights. Bring your knees up into your body. If you have that block between your knees, you can keep it there. Knees to 90 degrees. If you don't, you can just bring your knees together. So you're either squeezing your inner thighs together or you're squeezing the block together, okay? Arms out to the side like a T, palms facing down. Knees to 90 degrees, if you can manage that. We're going to lower the legs all the way to the right, not all the way down to the ground, but just before they touch. I got a nice adjustment there. Hold, and then exhale, squeeze the navel in, press your lower back down to the ground. Inhale over to the left. Hold, don't let the legs touch, and then exhale, squeeze your lower back down to the ground. So press it down at center. Inhale over to the right. So you can keep your left shoulder down, press into the right palm, squeeze, come back to center, press the lower back down. Again, inhale to the left. Exhale, back to center. Press your lower back down to the ground. Make an effort. Again, to the right. Exhale, back to center. Press it down. And last time to the left. Inhale and exhale. Back to center. Squeeze your lower back down to the ground. And then go ahead and draw your legs into the body. If you have the block, let it go. Squeeze them in. Whew, roll a little right and left. Man. Hope you guys are getting your work in too. We're going to extend the legs up toward the sky. Floint or flex the toes, so legs straight if possible. If your hamstrings are tight, of course, that's okay to bend the knees, but keep your feet flexed. Hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, elbows out to the side, all right? So we're going to lift the shoulder blades up off the ground, elbows out to the side, legs nice and engaged. Lower those legs down to 45 degrees. Exhale, bring them up. All right, inhale, lower, 45. Woo, press the lower back down, back up. Good, inhale down. Exhale back. Keep that lower back pressing down. Don't let it come off the ground. Don't let it come off the ground. Exhale. squeeze. Good. Now I want you to bend the right knee, grab that right knee and hug it in toward the body. Inhale, exhale, switch. Shoulder blades are still up off the ground. Exhale, switch. We're breathing. Inhale, exhale, switch. Again, inhale, exhale, switch. Lower back pressing down. Inhale, exhale, switch. Navel draws in. Inhale, exhale, switch. Last time on the left side. Inhale, exhale, switch, and lay down. Go ahead and pull the legs into the body. Bring the feet flat to the ground, hip width apart. Very little rest here. This is what Power Hour is about, keeping the heart rate up. Go ahead and wiggle the elbows in toward the body. So right and left, fingertips reaching toward the heels. We're going to go into some hip lifts here. So we'll take a nice breath in, shoulders pull back, and then exhale. I want you to press and squeeze. So you're pressing the hips up, squeezing a little bit of the glutes, also the upper hamstrings, maybe even the adductors engaging a little. So you're pressing the hips straight up, slight tuck of the tailbone. All right, so pressing and squeezing. And then inhale, come down, but don't come all the way down. Don't lose the engagement. Exhale, squeeze and press. Inhale, down. Exhale, squeeze and press. Again, inhale, down. I'm even shaking. Exhale, squeeze and press. Couple more. Inhale, down. Exhale, press. Last time here. And press. Now hold. Walk your feet a little closer together. So stabilize on just that right foot now. I want you to lift the left foot, if you can, up toward the sky. So right foot is underneath that right ankle. Lower that left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Lift it up. Inhale. Lower. Exhale. Lift it up. Inhale. Lower. Pointer flex the toes. Exhale, lift. Last time. Inhale, lower. Keep that right hip up. And exhale, lift. Now press through that right foot a little bit more. Press. And then go ahead and lower. Pull the legs back into the body. Squeeze. Let's just take a rest before we do the other side. When you're ready, we're going to bring both feet down to the ground one more time. Hip width apart, maybe even slightly closer to stabilize on that left foot when you're ready. Press into that left foot. Lift your right foot if you can. Right foot to the sky. Pointer flex the toes, shoulders back. Inhale, lower that leg. Exhale, we lift it up. Stay lifted through this left hip. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Couple more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And last time, inhale, lower. And exhale, lift it up. Now stay lifted and press even more through this left hip. And then slowly lower back to the ground. Pull both knees back into the body. Squeeze them in tightly. Whew. Roll a little right and left. Very nice. Let's bring both feet down to the ground one more time. Bring the knees in toward one another. Let the feet come out wide and tick-tock the knees. So you're going to let one knee come down toward the center of the mat and then the other. Make sure the feet are wide as you do these tick-tocks. We'll come into a little more stretching before we take a moment to rest. Good. Come back to center. Walk your feet closer together. Let your left leg come down and hold your right knee in toward the body. So hugging the right knee in. Squeeze the shoulders down and back gently. Back of the neck is long. We're going to find a twist. Right knee will come across the body over to the left. Right arm out to the right. Look past your right arm, past the right hand. Nice big stretch. Nice deep breath. Exhale, just melt into that twist. Let that right shoulder drop. One more breath in. Finish the exhale. Eyes up, roll onto your back, both knees into the body. Right leg is going to come down after you squeeze for just a moment. We switch, right leg down, left knee hugs in and back, shoulders down, and then we twist. Left knee across the body to the right, left arm out to the left. Eyes go past that left hand. Nice deep breath in, create space. Exhale, we melt. Nice breath in again. Finish your exhale, deepen your twist. Bring your eyes back up, bring the left knee back in, followed by the right. Both knees back into the body, squeeze them in, hug your arms around your legs. We'll find a little happy baby, you guys, grabbing the outsides of the feet. If you can, draw your knees down underneath your arms and crack your toes if you'd like to. I always like to crack my toes here. Shoulders down. Can roll a little right and left. Nice big stretch for the hips and really, really nice for the lower back and sacrum here. From here, you can bring your feet together, bringing the feet toward your body with the knees out to the side. Pull your shoulders down into the ground, into the mat. Now, there's an option here if you guys want to go into a nice straddle. You can grab your big toes with your peace fingers and let one leg come out to the side for a couple breaths before switching to the other side. Opposite side heel comes in toward the body, and then eventually both legs out to the side into a full straddle. If that's not for you, grabbing the big toes, you can also hold on to your calves, to your thighs, whatever you can hold on to, but flex your feet so those toes are drawing back and down, and the shoulders are also drawing down into the ground. From here, let's just go ahead and bend the knees again, bring them back into the body, hug them in, squeeze, and then bring your feet back up toward the sky. So this time you can walk your hands up. If you have the strap, that's a nice option. You can bring the strap to the outsides, or the balls of your feet rather. Hold on to the strap like so. Oops, I didn't realize that was a hoop. So we want to make sure this is in front, and you can pull the toes back toward your head as you pull the shoulders down. Of course, if you're more open in the hamstrings, the higher you will grab on the strap, or even grabbing the feet. If you don't have the strap, of course, you can hold on to your calves, your thighs, whatever you have, but make sure you're pressing through the feet. So I want you to really engage the legs, press through the feet so the toes are drawing back toward your head, and don't let the back come off the ground. So the whole intention here is keep the back on the ground as you pull, shoulders down, and flex the feet. So big hamstring stretch here. Also getting that nice long spine. One more breath, holding. And then go ahead and release the feet. Let them float. Let them just float for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can bend the knees, bring the feet back down to the ground. All right, I'm going to even back out on my mat. I just moved a little bit for a second there. All right, so you guys, we're going to do one more bridge. This time we'll hold it. So hip lift when you're ready, feet hip width apart, hips up. So here in this bridge, if you want, you can clasp your hands. You can reach your fingertips toward your heels. You can support your bridge with your hands, or if you want to make it nice and easy, you can also place a block underneath your sacrum if that feels like something you might want to do here. We're just going to hold it for a few breaths. So if you have a block, of course, feel free to use it. If not, again, just working on lifting and finding a nice gentle squeeze there. Deep belly breath. Let's breathe right into the solar plexus here. Exhale, empty. And one more breath. Breathe right into that Hara center. Inhale, let the belly inflate. Exhale, empty. You can slowly come back down to the ground if you have the block. Lift up and release it. And we'll bring the feet together and the knees out to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees out to the side. Either arms down by your sides, hands up and over the head. If you have blocks, this is also a fun little thing we can do. I offered it in my yin class, I think last night. Blocks underneath the knees just for extra support if that feels nice for you. It's just a nice little addition. Hands can come up over the head, down by your sides, on your belly. One hand on your belly, one hand over your heart, wherever they are. Scoop the shoulders down and relax your body for just a few breaths. We're going to find some stillness here, preparing our body for a little Shavasana. Allowing that breath to slow down even more now. Maybe finding a little space, a little pause between the inhale and exhale. Finish the breath cycle you're on. Nice long, super long exhale. And then at the bottom of that exhale, go ahead and slowly Reorganize your body. Let your legs come all the way down to the ground. Let your arms come down by your sides, preparing for a little Shavasana. Scoop the shoulder blades down, pressing gently into the back of your head. Turn your palms to face up. Allow your feet to roll out. If you want, you can roll them in and out a couple times first, and then let them just flop out to the sides. Take a deep breath in, all the way up to the chest, and then exhale out of your mouth. And then let your jaw muscles relax. Let your breath become natural. We'll just pause for here, just for a moment, a little rest. Allow that heart rate to start to slow. Go ahead and just take a nice deep breath again, back into the belly, back into your solar plexus, up into the ribs. Find the very top of your breath, pause, and then exhale, let it out super long and slow. And then wiggle the fingers and toes again. Start to roll the ankles, maybe curl the wrists in. And then stretch the arms slowly above the legs like you're waking up for the first time today. Just a big good morning stretch. Pull the legs into the body, squeezing them in, wrap your arms around them, roll a little right and left. Take a moment, maybe rolling onto one side, possibly your right side, finding a pause there, letting the body settle. Let the blood settle. And then when you're ready to press yourself back up, take your time, coming back up to your seated position. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I needed that. All right, you guys, I'm going to scoot closer because I can't see you from way over where I am. All right, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Aries. All right, friends. Whew. Drink some water. So nice. I'm like, ooh, a little bit out of it still. All right, you guys. So, what is today? Tuesday. If you are in South Florida, I teach yoga on the beach tomorrow at 6 o'clock, weather permitting. The weather's a little bit crazy lately. So, if you'd like to join me, my information is here in my bio and description, I think, on this video and in my channel. You can find me at linktr.ee/wanderingheartist. Currently, my social media accounts are still compromised. Meta is not being very cooperative. I have no way to try to get a hold of them to fix the massive mistake that they have made. So I'm working on it, but right now I am still here, of course, on YouTube. I have a WhatsApp group for my Sunset Beach Yoga page, and I do have that link tree if you want to check out what other events I have going on. Otherwise, if you are only here on YouTube, I shall see you either next Tuesday or Thursday, unless we get rained out at Sunset Beach Yoga, where I will probably stream another class here like I did, I think this last Sunday. We did a nice yin practice together. All right. So thank you guys again for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or requests for any of these Power Hour episodes, please feel free to leave me a little comment or send me a message. I think you can do that here on YouTube. I'm kind of newish at the YouTube world here. I've been using it though for many years, but not consistently. And I just started streaming again the first time since COVID, just a couple weeks ago. So All right, you guys, if you want to donate to any of these classes, everything I offer online is free or donation based. Also in the world, unless it's an event, my Venmo should be here as well. It's at Jessica Ohm is my handle for Venmo. Same thing with Cash App. And Zelle is my phone number. All right, you guys. Love you so much. See you next time.